So welcome to this video. I thought we would do something slightly different and more to do with helping you survive as a business owner or entrepreneur, because it can be a roller coaster ride and a challenge. And these 5 fast stress busters for a busy business person are designed just to help you cope with the stresses and strains of being an entrepreneur in this modern world. So let's get straight into them. Hope you enjoyed the photograph and it makes you smile. So the first one is, this is Thich Nhat Hanh. He's a very famous Buddhist monk for those who don't know him. But one of the most powerful strategies that I've learned from Thich Nhat Hanh was each morning have a half smile on your face as soon as you wake up. And this is so powerful because most of us as business owners wake up with about 5 things we need to do and we just hit the deck running. And doing this little process, when you open your eyes, just put a half smile on your face, will actually ensure that you start the day on the right foot. And most of the reason we're stressed is because we start the day at a sprint, when really what we need to do is just take a little bit of space, smile, and just be grateful for the fact that you have this extraordinary day ahead of you. The second one is have some kind of physical practice each day. Now, just so I'm totally clear, I don't mean running down to the gym and doing 3 hours press-ups. Okay, a physical practice can also include something like just sitting quietly by yourself for 10 minutes and doing some very deep and slow breaths. This has a profound effect on your physiology. It will slow your heart rate down, reduce your blood pressure, and actually will physically reduce your stress. So if you are having one of those challenging days, what we tend to do is we just keep trying harder and harder and harder, and sometimes just taking that time out to have a physical practice, whether it's going for a walk, sitting and doing some deep breaths, or indeed going to the gym for half an hour. Please ensure that you have some kind of physical practice to take the edge off the day, all right, and reduce that stress level. The next one's a really important one, often overlooked. Express all of your emotions, and do so in what I say is a constructive manner. So if you're really furious and really angry, don't just sit there and bottle it up. That will actually trigger and make worse any situation of stress. Alrighty? With an emotion like anger or frustration, disappointment or whatever, then grab a pillow if you have to and scream into it. Get a boxing bag down the gym and punch it. Go for a walk, stand in a quiet place and scream your head off if you have to. But, get that emotion out. Don't leave it sat in there because it's toxic over time. And, and sometimes expressing all of your emotions can be talking to the person who's triggered the emotion, not shouting and screaming, but saying, look, John, Bill, Mary, Bob, this is how you made me feel. This is why I'm so angry. We need to resolve it. That is a really constructive way of dealing with all of your emotions. When you bottle them up, it creates more physical stress, it creates more emotional stress, and generally contributes to you feeling in a much worse situation than you would be if you expressed your emotions, in the proper manner. Next, stop and smell the roses every day. There is a natural habit for all of us as entrepreneurs to go 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Okay, if you're a driven person, then this is natural. But it's really important that at some point during the day that you stop and smell the roses. So if this means combining this with a physical habit like going for a walk, breathing some fresh air, that's fantastic. But also it could include things like just stepping away from your desk. Yeah, and remembering why you're building this business in the first place. Remembering and being grateful for all of the great things that you have in your life, your friends, your family, and so on and so forth. No matter how bad things are or how challenging they are in your business, remember that you're in a really blessed position. There are people in this world more worse off than you. And so you really need to remind yourself of why you started the business in the first place, what was driving you, and focus on those things. Maybe it's to travel more, maybe it's to have more peace and freedom in your life, maybe it's to have more time with your own family. Whatever that may be, make sure you connect with that each day. And finally, have a habit where you're kind to yourself at least once a day. Just a tiny act of kindness to yourself. And as an entrepreneur, no doubt you have the habit of constantly being outward facing, making things happen over here, hustling over there, getting things right over here, making sure that's built over there. You cannot do that forever. And every now and then you need to look back inside and make sure you're treating yourself well, because without you, everything else falls over. And although this is commonsensical, no-brainer stuff, I know from my own personal experience that often the last person that got looked after was me. So in this particular instance, make sure that you do something, one tiny thing, every day, so you're kind to yourself. Make yourself an extra cup of tea. Have a chocolate biscuit. Read your favorite newspaper just for 15 minutes. Just one thing that you really like to do. Okay, just ensure that each day you have one moment where you're kind to yourself and look after yourself. And all of these are simple things you can do right now to bust stress, even if you're a busy business person. Speak to you soon.